What if the Caribbean, once known for calm turquoise waters, suddenly became the world's next great fault line? Could a single U.S. destroyer, gliding near Venezuela's coast, trigger the most unexpected showdown of the decade? Some call it deterrence, others call it provocation. But when warships fly three different flags, the United States, Venezuela, and perhaps China, who truly commands the sea? The ocean remembers power, not promises. And tonight, beneath the silent radar waves, one question lingers. Is this the beginning of a new Cold War? Or just the calm before a far greater storm? The Caribbean Sea is heating up once again. A U.S. Arleigh Burke class destroyer cuts through the waves just north of Venezuela, its radar systems glowing like silent eyes in the night. Only hours later, Caracas responds its main warships departing Puerto Cabello under a crimson sunset. But the question echoing through naval circles is this: how many Venezuelan warships would it really take to challenge a single American destroyer? And deeper still, will China remain a distant observer or quietly enter these waters itself? Welcome to ArmaForge, where we explore hypothetical military scenarios and decode strategy without taking sides. Our mission is to understand, not to provoke, how power and politics interact beneath the surface of the world's oceans. The first act begins with Washington's move. The U.S. Navy has long treated the Caribbean as a symbolic extension of its maritime influence. Under the banner of freedom of navigation, a task group of Arleigh Burke class destroyers and Ticonderoga class cruisers pushes toward Venezuela's northern coast. Officially, they are enforcing open sea rights. Unofficially, analysts believe this is a show of presence aimed at Caracas, which in recent years has deepened defense ties with Moscow and Beijing. Mini Hook, is this really a routine patrol or a silent rehearsal for a larger strategy? As satellite images begin to circulate, Venezuela reacts swiftly. The country's Navy activates its limited but proud surface fleet. Two Guayquerí-class frigates, also known as Avante 2,200 modern stealth-shaped vessels built in Spain. Three older Marisco Sucre, FS-30, frigates dating back decades but still functional. And a handful of missile boats and fast patrol craft designed for ambush tactics along the shallow Caribbean coast. They lack the advanced sensors and missile ranges of their U.S. counterparts, but they hold a different advantage: home field awareness. Every channel, every reef, every coastal radar site is familiar territory. Could that be enough to level the playing field against one of the most advanced warships on Earth? Let's compare what stands on each side. The U.S. Arleigh Burke DDG-5, one equipped with the Aegis SPY-1D radar, capable of tracking over 100 airborne or surface targets at once, controlling a vertical launch system filled with Tomahawk cruise missiles, RGM-84 Harpoon anti-ship missiles, and ESSM interceptors. On defense, the Phalanx CIWS Block 1B scans for threats at lightning speed. Venezuela's Avante 2,200 carries the Otomet Mk2 missile, a respectable weapon, but with shorter reach and older guidance. Its radar, a modest 3D system, barely extends 150 kilometers. A single Arleigh Burke can see 4 times that distance. Yet in confined coastal waters, sensors matter less than stealth and surprise. Could a swarm of smaller Venezuelan vessels outmaneuver a lone U.S. destroyer, or would technology erase any chance of parity? Across the ocean, intelligence leaks point to an unexpected twist. Reports suggest that China has quietly offered to supply Venezuela with the Type 548 frigate, the same model that serves as the backbone of Beijing's own fleet. The Type 548 isn't a toy. It carries the HQ-16 medium-range surface-to-air missile, modern AE-SA radar, and a robust electronic warfare suite. If even one such ship were transferred, the balance of perception in the Caribbean could shift overnight. Would this make Caracas a genuine regional power, or simply a symbolic gesture meant to unsettle Washington? A map animation would show it clearly. A long red line stretching from Shanghai, crossing the Panama Canal, ending at Venezuela's coast. The image alone would send ripples through every strategy room in the Pentagon. After all, Caribbean has always been considered America's uncontested maritime backyard. Could Beijing really afford to test that boundary? Let's imagine a possible future, a purely hypothetical encounter. Night falls on calm seas. A Venezuelan frigate approaches within radar range of the American destroyer. The U.S. crew monitors, weapon systems in standby, rules of engagement clear. Track, but do not fire. Then suddenly an anomaly appears on the console. Electronic interference strange, patterned, intelligent. Within seconds, the destroyer's radar feed flickers. Engineers trace the signal to a satellite relay not Venezuelan, but Chinese in origin. For a brief moment, communication between radar arrays desynchronizes. No missile launches, no explosions, just silence. And the realization that modern warfare might begin not with a torpedo, but with a line of code. The U.S. ship regains control. Both fleets pull back. Official reports the next day call it an electronic anomaly. But inside classified briefings, officers ask a question that none dare speak aloud publicly. Was this the first coordinated test of trilateral response from Venezuela's proximity, China's technology, and America's deterrence? From a broader view, the encounter represents more than naval tension. It reflects a shift in how influence is projected. The U.S. no longer faces local challengers. It faces global echoes of distant powers extending support networks into every region. For Venezuela, cooperation with China is both political and psychological, a message that it is not isolated. For Beijing, even a symbolic foothold in the Caribbean acts as a strategic mirror to America's presence in the South China Sea. The game is symmetrical, but the board has changed. And yet, despite all this buildup, no missiles fly, no direct confrontation occurs. Instead, the silence itself becomes the loudest sound of fragile balance, where deterrence works precisely because every side understands what is at stake. The Caribbean, once a peaceful tropical expanse, now hums with invisible tension radar sweeps, electronic pings, satellite tracks. Is this the new form of Cold War quiet calculated and waged through electromagnetic shadows? As the camera pulls back to show the curvature of the Earth, the narrator's tone softens. The truth, he says, is that Venezuela is no longer standing alone. Every move it makes now reflects in distant capitals. Every use patrol carries diplomatic weight far beyond the horizon. And every whisper of Chinese involvement sends a message across the Pacific. Power is no longer confined by geography. No shots fired, no smoke on the water. Yet beneath the surface, alliances shift like undercurrents, slow, unseen, and unstoppable. Could the world be watching the quiet birth of a new era of rivalry, an echo of the past, reborn in warmer seas? This is not a prediction, but a possibility. In global strategy, the smallest spark of joint exercise, a lone ship, a data link, can redefine entire regions. For now, the Caribbean remains calm. But as history has shown, calm waters often hide the deepest currents. What do you think? If China truly supplied Venezuela with advanced warships, how would the United States respond? Would Washington tolerate another power? As Navy patrolling so close to its shores? Or are we witnessing the subtle beginning of a maritime chess match that spans the globe? Let us know your thoughts in the comments and subscribe to ArmaForge for more strategic analyses and hypothetical scenarios like this one. Every episode is built to explore, not to incite the realities of modern deterrence, technology, and power projection. Because in today's world, understanding how nations prepare for conflict might be the best way to prevent it.